So I had something weird happen this week. And I say weird because it's not ever happened with me before. But then again, I've only been in the vendor space for a year. So we had someone go in and purposely try to sabotage our conversions in GA4. Well, the only thing they really succeeded in doing, because that didn't work, because they did this with a actually really knowledgeable dealer, and she went in and shut off their access to be able to edit anything in GA4. And since she actually is in charge of all the marketing for the dealer group, they're probably not going to get the rest of those stores, because she was pretty peeved by the whole thing. She brought it to my attention earlier this morning, and then when I researched and investigated a little bit, what we found through the change log in GA4 is they were all done by a competitor who they were phasing out. They had reduced their business with that particular vendor from paid marketing down to just analytics report reviews. Apparently that vendor didn't like that. So they went in and tried to sabotage the conversions that we had set up. In some of the reporting, they tried to figure out how we set up the reporting and how we were doing setups with Google Ads and such. They didn't find out anything. And I mean, the only thing they succeeded in doing is making sure they're not going to be in that dealer group whatsoever. So if you're a vendor, if you didn't set up the conversion, don't mess with it. Like there's 25,000 automotive, motorcycle, RV, and boat dealers in the continental United States. There's plenty of business for us all to have. We don't need to go around sabotaging each other. The car business world is way too small for that. So all you did was give yourself a reputation for being shady. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about trying to help the client sell more cars. And there's so many options out there for them to select one that really, really will do this for them. I mean, is sabotaging another vendor's setups really the way to do business? That's just shady. And I'm not going to say their name here. If you want to know their name, feel free to message me and I'll tell you their name. But I just don't get it. I don't understand what any of that did to benefit the dealer. And nothing. It did nothing. So we fixed it. We found it. We worked with the dealer and explained to her what happened as nicely, as professionally as possible. Said they're sabotaging the setups. To which she said she kind of got the gist of that. She understood that was what was going on, but she just needed someone to confirm it. So the new breed of marketing directors, digital marketing directors, e-commerce directors, they're pretty savvy on this stuff. More savvy than a lot of people I know, or a lot of the car dealerships that the way it used to be. So, I mean, I would recommend that you stay in your own lane. Like if you have, we're all having to play in this one GA4 property. So if you have conversions in there that aren't yours, just leave them alone. Just mess with your own conversions or reporting or anything like that. It doesn't do anybody any good, i.e. the client. It doesn't sell them more cars by you monkeying with the way the setups are in analytics. It does nothing except to get you a bad reputation for being shady. And if you're a dealer, this goes back to my earlier conversation about how important it is to make sure that you have a trusted digital advisor, because this stuff apparently happens. Like, it was news to me, but apparently this company they've done this to us before, and they try to figure out how we have things set up, which, if you don't know that Google there's a log in Google that shows every action that every person did ever in GA4. And you can't alter it, you can't modify it. It's very easy to find. If you need help finding it, you're more than welcome to contact me or your trusted digital advisor. And you can see exactly who did what. And you can infer from that what their motivations might have been. So as a dealer, if you have that right person that can find those little nuances like that, you can save yourself a lot of headache later. Like, had she not discovered that this is what happened, had she not known to go to us and say, hey, look, they're saying this is broken, what's going on, it would have done a lot more damage, like, down the road. It would have absolutely broken the way the reporting is set up, the way the conversions are set up. We wouldn't have seen any of that information. But you also can set yourself up to get notifications when there's changes made in GA4, which I highly recommend that you do, because you should be monitoring and you should be giving permission for anybody making any kind of modifications and changes in your GA4 property. And if they set up a GA4 property for you, make sure that you get ownership of it. We've had to do that several times. In fact, we did this just recently for a larger dealer group, that somebody had set up their GA4 accounts for them, and not given them ownership access. So we literally had to set up new GA4 accounts for all the stores, and we gave them ownership access of them to those GA4 accounts and made it like a, all website data view and we recommended conversions for them to put in there. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the analytics properties should belong to you. Now, the Google AdWords properties, everybody's got a different flair on how to handle that. We actually own our Google AdWords properties, and we house the specific results or campaigns for each dealer in there, and then we provide reporting out straight out to analytics for that. Some dealerships want their one Google Ads account and all their stuff to be ran through there. You have to do what's best for your business. I don't know that I would recommend, and I don't know a lot of vendors that would actually work out of a dealer's ads property. Most vendors that I know about, probably 99% of them, actually operate out of their own Google Ads platform, or their own Google Ads account, and have a profile for that dealership in there with their campaign setups. Because that's like your, 11 herbs and spices. 11 herbs and spices, that's your secret setups, right? You don't really want anybody having access into how you set up stuff. So I guess at the end of the day, think about what's best for that particular dealership, for that particular client, and make the best decision for that client. Because if that's not what's guiding your decision making, if you're so focused on, well, I have to sabotage this other business in order to make myself look good, you really need to take a hard look at how you're doing business. Because if that's all you got to stand on, you got bigger problems than just trying to figure out how we do stuff. So for the dealerships, like I said, make sure you have a trusted digital advisor that you can actually inspect, and that you can set up. You can have them show you how to look at the modification history. You can set up notifications, things like that. And then for vendors, let's just all play nice in the sandbox, man. There's plenty of business out there for everybody. We don't need to be sabotaging each other's stuff in order to get more business. It's just bad business. And the automotive world is just way too small to be sabotaging each other's stuff like that. It's just not a good look. And man, dealerships talk faster than a lady's sewing circle. So if that's the reputation one out there, God bless. That's not the reputation that I would ever want out there for my business. So hope that helps. Good luck and happy selling.